Welcome to another Python tutorial with Tutor Edward. In this video, we will be discussing conditional statements. Conditional statements are the backbone of the backbone of logic for most programs. They take the form of the keywords if and else primarily, regardless of whichever language you're writing in. You'll see if and else. Python has something unique in it called elif, which is a portmanteau of else and if. But the basic structure that we'll be going over today starts off with just the if statement. There are a few basic components, though, in addition to the keywords that you need to know, if, elif, and else. You also need to know what a Boolean expression is, and I think this is one of the instances where having the vocabulary is helpful. A Boolean expression refers to a Boolean data type, which is set to either true or false. So, bool is a data type that's recognized by Python, short for Boolean, and I can create several or however many variables just by typing var equals true, var2 equals false, and so on. So those are Boolean variables. It's named for the mathematician George Boole, who you can read up on your own. And I'm not going to dedicate any of my time to talking about this person. I hardly know him. But a Boolean expression is something that can be evaluated in a mathematical sense or in a logical sense to essentially to either true or false. So most if statements are going to look something like this. They'll look like if, and then condition 1 is equal to true, and then whatever you want to do in here, you'll print yay, perhaps, if condition 1 is true. And that's also the reason why these are called conditional statements, is because you're executing code under the condition that certain things are met, certain requirements are met. You're only operating this code or executing this code under certain conditions. So right up here we have var equals true and var2 equals false. So I'll just replace condition 1 with var. So if var is equal to true, print yay. If var is not equal to true, let's print boo. But that right there is the basic structure, and this is the syntax too. Always use double equal signs for comparisons. So double equal signs for comparisons for a Boolean expression specifically, and use single equal sign for the assignment of a variable. Let's run this code. All it should do is just print yay, because var is indeed equal to true. So we print yay, and then we don't even look here. The way that else works is it only runs if the if statement or elif statements above don't equal true, or don't aren't satisfied. I can change this to var2 though. var2 is equal to false. So if I say if var2 is equal to true, which it is not, and then the else statement will run. So boo. If we wanted to make it more complicated, then we could add in the elif here. Elif, and now we could check to see if var is equal to true. So basically, I'm hoping that at least one of my variables here is true. The syntax for elif, you need to have the Boolean expression. Notice that else doesn't need it. Else is a catch-all. Else is basically literally any condition that isn't mentioned up above. If none of those are satisfied, else will run. So it's a catch-all. It's everything except for whatever is above. Elif, since it has that if in it, it does require a Boolean expression in there. So if var is indeed equal to true, then let's print few close 1. I think that's the improper use of a comma, and I'm a tutor and I should care about grammar, but oh well. Few close 1. And there we have it. So var2 is equal to false. So this if statement doesn't work. This is equal to true. Var is equal to true. So this prints, and then at the end, the else statement doesn't print because at least one of these printed. If you have if and then a series of elifs, then and then an else, then only one of these will work. But if I were to change this to if instead of elif, then basically we've made a new block. The else only cares about the immediate if above it. Think of it as if is, you know, the start of a train, right? The whatever the name of that train is, the head of the train, I don't know. And then the else is the caboose. I do know that one. I know my trains. Basically, you know, if to else, that is a block. If there's an if in the middle, then, well, that if is actually the beginning of the new train. And so if I were to say something like, all right, if var2, if I were to switch this, so that it's if var equals to false and var2 is equal to true, then it's going to run yay and boo, because it's going to check this if statement, and var is indeed equal to true, so it'll print yay. And then it's going to check this one separately and say, all right, so is var2 also equal to true? No, it isn't. Well, since this fails, the else statement runs. The else statement only cares about this if up here. So this will run both yay and boo. So that's the basic structure of the if, elif, and else keywords. I'm going to apply them or show a few applications of these. So I've started writing some code to determine if I'm going to get along with somebody. As an adult, you know, over the age of 18, favorite colors are very important to me. I definitely have a favorite color, and it is definitely a thing of which I'm aware. And it's a very, very important part of who I am. So what this program is going to do is it's going to ask the user for their favorite color. I'm going to ask them to type it in. I'm going to hope that they type it exactly as I want them to. And then I'm going to come up with a bunch of different situations depending on the color that they type in. So UI is the variable that represents user input. Basically, let me just test this out really quickly. I'm going to print out, you know, whatever the user types in, I'm just going to immediately print it out. So what is my favorite color? Fuchsia. Boom, I immediately print it out. I think that's how you spell it. I hope it is. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to create a bunch of if and elif statements. So if UI is equal to, and now I'm going to, let's see, actually, first thing I want to do, just for some fun, make it lowercase. If all my if and else statements, if, elif, and else statements are going to be looking for lowercase, instead of, you know, looking for all different permutations of capitals, I'm just going to go ahead and make my user input lowercase. And the way that you do that is you set UI equal to UI.lower. This right here returns the whatever string that you have up front. So UI is the string, and it makes all of the letters lowercase. So, you know, even if just one of the letters like at the end is lowercase, you know, if somebody had typed fuchsia like that, then that would be lowercase now. And I'm doing that just because I don't want to say, you know, if UI is equal to red, or UI is equal to red like that, or UI is equal to red, all cap. You know, I don't want to make all those different permutations myself. I'd rather just make the comparison to lowercase and then force the user input to be lowercase. It allows, you know, it allows a little bit of flexibility. Basically, you know, if I weren't to do this, then somebody might type in capital RED, and then I would say, hey, I don't recognize your input, which is what my else statement is going to be. And I'm going to write that down here. Else print do not recognize the color. Sorry, you have bad taste. There we are. So that's what I'm going to do if I don't recognize, if you know, I'm going to explicitly say all the colors I'm looking for, and then my else statement is the catch-all. So I'm just going to assume that, you know, if I haven't already made a specific case for it, well, I don't recognize it. You have bad taste. Done. I don't care. Don't bother me. All right. So if it's red, let's say print intense. Cool. Red's a very intense color. And then I want elif. Not another if. I want it to be an elif because I want this to be a train. Nobody's going to enter in red and purple simultaneously somehow, right? That's just not going to happen. Elif UI is equal to, let's say, purple. Then I'm going to print chill. Now, relaxed and royal. Love it. elif UI is equal to, let's say, chill would be blue. Now let's go for like a turquoise. Print chill. No, I don't like turquoise anymore. I want that to be cyan. There we are. Okay. That's good enough for me. elif UI equals emerald. Print best Pokemon game ever. Love Rayquaza. Oh geez, I can't spell. Boom. All right, let's print it out. Let's test it. So what is your favorite color? Emerald, and I'm going to capitalize the D, and boom, it recognizes it. Best Pokemon game ever. Love Rayquaza. So that's how you look for, that's how you accept user input and, shape your code based on what the user inputs. And this is a very essential part to, as I said, almost every program you'll ever write. So it's important to get comfortable with it. We'll get more in-depth in a future video, or if you're working with me in a class, in a future class.